Car Guy Tom is here now to talk about the best cars for teens, and I feel like my parents could have probably used this segment a long time ago. First, I must know, what was your first car?
My first car, I learned to drive in an Oldsmobile Delta 88.
Ooh.
And on my driver's test, I got an 88. So
look at that.
Yeah,
that's special.
That's the one I drove the most.
That truck is so cool.
It did not have an emergency brake, and I grew up in a very hilly city, so I learned some skills. And that's the first car I bought with my own money, which is a Mazda RX-4.
Ooh, all of those cars are so cool. Mine is probably not as cool, and we have a picture of when actually it was totaled. I was devastated. This was my 2002, I think, Audi or something.
That's a cool car.
Thank you. It was really good in the snow. I took it to college with me in Montana. And then, as you can see, I was devastated. A 17-year-old kind of learning to drive rear-ended me, and there I was at the salvage yard.
Hate that.
My dad was like, "Is this normal? Do girls always take pictures with their cars when they're totaled?" And the guy said yes.
Yeah.
So what are the important things that parents need to know when they're getting a car?
For their teens?
Yes.
Big, slow, and safe. And fortunately, these days, anything that's 10 years old or newer, that's pretty much a given because all the automakers do the crash, the crumple zones and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of them have these new features like automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, and it really helps teens keep focused.
Oh, and that's what we needed with social media being so big. You have 8 car picks. We're starting with the Honda Accord. What can you tell me?
Well, that's a larger car, and it's safe. Anything that's 7, 8 years old has all those active electronic safety things. Also, Toyota Camry, Chevy Malibu, those are in the same family. Let's move on to the Subaru Forester.
Please.
Subarus are known for being very, very safe. So you can really trust your kid in one of these. Also, Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, Chevy Equinox. You might already own that car. It's a good car to pass down to your kids.
Definitely. My parents love Hondas and Subaru, so there's a theme. Chevy Bolt is your third option.
Chevy Bolt, especially these days because gasoline is expensive. You can get a really good Chevy Bolt for maybe under $20,000 these days. Has all the safety features, goes usually 250 miles on a charge. It's a really great vehicle. In fact, I think maybe the parents might take it out because they're actually really fun to drive too.
Kia EV.
The Kia Niro is available as a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and a fully electric vehicle. It's one of those vehicles that it's off people's radar screen, so that's why this is on the list. I will move on to, if you're looking at something new, the Chevy Trax. The Chevy Trax can be had new for $25,000, and it's a really nice vehicle. The sister vehicle to it is called the Buick Envista. When I had the Envista as a tester, people were like, "Wow, what is that?" And they were thinking that it was a $40,000, $50,000 vehicle. It's well under $30,000.
Whoa,
yeah,
okay.
This right here is the Chevy version. That is the Buick Envista. Another one in the same family, the Mazda 3.
Mazda 3.
Yeah.
This is sleek.
Yeah, Mazda 3s are fun to drive. This is the hatchback version. There's also a sedan. And it's fun to drive and it's affordable. And then last but not least, if you need a pickup in the family, maybe give your kids the Ford Maverick because the Maverick is probably the least expensive vehicle out there. As
what
you
are you
can
doing
see,
there? Are you seeing what can all fit in the back?
And you can throw a lot of stuff in the Maverick. It's a small pickup, but it's very, very useful. It has the payload capacity of a larger truck.
Are you used, new, mainly about how old it is, or what's your trick of the trade there?
Not too old because you want something that's reliable. A lot of times you have family members that are like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting rid of my car." So if you're buying used that way,
and then you know the car really well.
The history of the car. Also, there's CarMax or Carvana. Those are a good resource to buy used cars. New cars tend to be a little bit more expensive, but there are affordable vehicles out there, like the Trax and the Kia Soul and the Hyundai Venue. So they're out there. Those new cars have a warranty, which is really great. They also have all the latest active electronic safety features, which is really great for a teen.
That is. And really quick before we leave, any last tips for parents that are intimidated by this process?
Don't be. Really, I mean, because most modern cars these days are very reliable. You don't really have to worry too much about them.
I like that. I think that's where we end, Tom. You're the best, and you're such a fun follow, too, on YouTube, so everyone needs to check you out there for the most honest car reviews, from how they're made to how much they cost, and, of course, how they drive. That's important.